This is The Gorge, the podcast where my friend Sarah and I gorge ourselves on what's happening in the world of video games and entertainment.
The Gorge is brought to you by Patreon. That's patreon.com/thegorge, where for just $5 a month you gain access to not one, but two entire podcasts. So much value. $5 gets you Takeout, a monthly commentary track where Ben and I decide we don't feel like putting in the effort of playing something, so instead we just watch something and talk over it. And if you're feeling thrifty, or if inflation has got you down because, like, shit... That's everybody, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
$2 gets you Praetorian Pals, a series where Ben, Saturn, Oates, and myself sit down and we play. We just pick the MSQ roulette in Final Fantasy XIV, and we just kind of talk over it. And the fun thing is, we very rarely actually do the MSQ roulette.
It's kind of strayed into just us playing FF14.
Yeah, because we've talked over raids. And we recently did Boja Buddies, where we didn't actually play Boja, and we instead did Eureka. Don't worry about it. It was a 3-hour stream we did for April Fool's Day. It was a catastrophe. You should go listen to it. Eureka is terrible. It was fun, but then we realized, like, very quickly what Eureka was, and it was like, oh, this was a mistake. This is not Boja. But yeah, no. And $2 also gets you the entire back catalog of things like That's Hell You're Walking Into and bonus episodes, all kinds of stuff, honestly. Yeah. Like, yeah, if you don't want to kick in $5, and that's fair, I get it. You know what? The things are expensive. Everything costs money these days.
Yeah.
$2 will get you so much content and more.
A ton of it. Just all over. Of it. Years of content.
The ages. So that's patreon.com/thegorge. Kick in however much you can, from $2 to $10 to $50. Please don't actually give us
$50. That's crazy. That's ludicrous.
That's our scam tier. But if you feel like getting scammed by Ben and myself, $50 a month. Mm-hmm. Do that instead of investing in cryptocurrency. If you've you're like, I'm gonna buy $50 in Bitcoin. No.
Put it to
$50. Put $50 to the Gorge.
Then you'll get actual value out of that.
That's right.
Like material.
That's patreon.com/thegorge.
You know what? I just realized it's my month to pick the takeout.
Oh my god, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because I picked Food Fight last time. Oh my god. So I'm gonna have to pick a number.
Why don't you roll a d20 right now?
Oh my god. Okay. Hold on. We're really gonna do okay, hold on. Well, I don't actually have a d20 on hand, so I have to use the Google one.
That's
roll d20. Alright, Google. What'd you give? A 14. Is that what I rolled last time?
It's what you rolled last time.
Okay, well, I rolled another 14.
Okay. This one will be fun. This one will be good.
Okay.
I'll enjoy this one.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Ben has a list of things that can be good or things that can be bad. So I'm looking forward to it.
If we get a 14 in June, then we're going to need to work something out. But
maybe Google's just broken and it just keeps giving me 14s. Maybe it's like she's always Googling Final Fantasy 14 shit. Maybe she really likes that number.
You like this number for you? This one? This is the one you like?
Do you want this number? This number do you like? Alright, Ben. I don't have a lot to talk about. I've been busy with just, like, my social life.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, my family life. So I haven't really had a chance to do much of anything other than play more 76 and Fallout, that happens a lot. Listen, folks, Fallout 76 and Final Fantasy 14, and then there's also the other thing of Fallout 4.
Right.
So those wires get crossed a lot when I'm trying to talk about them.
The numbers and words are similar enough.
That's right. So I've been playing a lot of 76 and 14. So I mean, there's nothing really unique to talk about there. We just did an episode about Fallout 76 finally last week. So if you want to hear my actual opinions about that, go listen to that one. But otherwise, like, my social life and, like, my family life has mostly kind of been the dominating factor here. So I really don't have anything to talk about.
Okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be the Ben Power Hour or the Ben Power half hour.
Whatever. I did a lot, actually. This is
good.
a very content heavy couple of weeks for me.
At least thank God one of us is going to have something to talk about.
So I started Vernal Edge, which is a Kickstarter Metroidvania game that I backed a couple of years ago at this point, 4 or 5 years. Then completely forgot about it until it's like, hey, it's out.
Oh, well, that's how you, by the way, if you're going to back a game on Kickstarter, that's the way to do it. Like, back the game, and then immediately delete it from your brain.
Right. I saw that because it was advertised as inspired by Devil May Cry and Kingdom Hearts. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, those neurons are firing. Sure. I'll throw down enough money to get the digital copy of that. Mm-hmm. And then promptly forgot about it.
That's how you do it.
It is okay.
That's the fate of most Kickstarter games.
It is. So when they say inspired by Devil May Cry and Kingdom Hearts, what they mean is inspired by the gameplay of Devil May Cry and some of the more minor mechanics of Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Which is not what I'm particularly interested in Kingdom Hearts. Mm-hmm. I was expecting like, oh, the story will be about like, world hopping or like some kind of existential magical story or something like that. Not really. It mostly
or more like kind of like a whimsical sort of, like very fantastical kind of thing going on.
Right. Not particularly. It really just more pulls like some of the more mechanical aspects of it. Like it's got as far as Devil May Cry goes, like it's very combat oriented.
Sure.
And it's kind of vaguely character action as much as you can get with a 2D game. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Saying it's inspired by those things is very loose.
Sure.
I would say. The actual Metroidvania part is really good. Instead of it being one gigantic map, it's split up into different floating islands that each have their own like section for you to explore.
Oh, fun. Okay. Yeah.
And it's got the really good energy of like, oh, I got this ability. I'm going to go all the way back to all these other islands and clear out what I can clear out now.
Yeah.
So it tickles that part of the Metroidvania brain like really, really well. When you get like, oh shit, I have the double jump now. Can go to so many places.
Yeah, of course. It's definitely that like unlocking all of these different zones kind of happiness. Right.
The problem I have with it is the combat.
Okay.
So like in Devil May Cry, when you're playing as Dante, you have a shit ton of moves, right? Mm-hmm. Like you just have a billion different things you can do.
Yeah.
You have different stances, you have different weapons with different stances attached to them. All kinds of shit. And that works really well in a 3D game. Not so much in a 2D Metroidvania game.
Mm-hmm. It feels bloated.
It doesn't even feel bloated, it feels half-baked. Okay. So like when you're playing a game that's kind of like a 2D action game, usually what you get is here's your standard attack button, your jump button, you might have a roll or something like that. And then here is the thing. Mm-hmm. Like here's your parry, or here's your grab, or here's your like perfect dodge that you can use to zip around. Like here's your air dash that you can use to maneuver every direction. Here's your thing that we want you to use in combat to get the advantage, right? And it's like, you can just go and use your standard attacks and win the fight, but we want you to use this. We have enemies that are opened up when you do this thing, right?
Right, yeah.
Vernal Edge has like 3 of those, and none of them feel very good.
Okay. Yeah, so everything feels kind of half-baked. I get what you mean now.
So all right, so here's a good example of it. When you're playing DMC and you have Royal Guard equipped and you perfect parry an enemy's attack, what happens to that enemy's attack?
It just stops.
Yeah, it just stops, right? Mm-hmm. Not in Vernal Edge.
Really?
In Vernal Edge, when you block an attack, and it has a parry and a counter, like you're supposed to block and then counterattack. Mm-hmm. When you block and counterattack, the enemy isn't interrupted at all. Their attack still their enemy, like you're invincible, but their animation still goes through, right?
Okay.
Which is like, okay, that's weird, but I can adjust to it and make sense. Some enemies have multi-hit attacks.
Okay.
So if you block and parry the first attack, it doesn't interrupt the rest of their combo.
So, that's weird. So do you have to parry every single part of their combo?
So that's the thing is there's one enemy that has a 3-hit combo, and it's like, okay, block, 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 parry.
Mm-hmm.
No, their third attack has them lunge forward.
Oh.
So when you block their first and second attack, their third attack puts them behind you.
So even though it doesn't do any damage, you're still at a disadvantage.
Because you can't parry them now because they're out of your range.
Right. Oh, that's whack. Okay.
Yeah. That's not good.
No, that's like you definitely, like you said, half baked. It's like, right? This is a cool idea, but the implementation, right?
So like the thing they want you to do is every enemy has these like pips like underneath their health bar, and it's like if you parry them or if you do your charge attack, which you can hold on a button to charge up and do like a heavy swing, you'll break one of those pips. If you break all their pips, they get stunned for a time and you can just wail on them, right?
Okay.
That's the only way you can interrupt attacks. Is by breaking all their pips.
No, I don't like that.
Nothing else you do stops them, interrupts their mobility or anything like that. And even the charge attack is not good because it runs into the opposite problem that the enemies have, which is if you're doing your charge attack, you can do like a directional input. Like you can just stand still and swing it, or you can be walking or jumping or holding up and down and do it.
Yeah.
If you're moving in a direction with a charge attack, she does a lunging attack, which can put you behind the enemy you're trying to break because she lunges and then attacks.
Oh, so then you're not actually breaking that guard.
Yeah, you're behind them. You whiffed your attack.
Oh no.
And I don't like that.
No, I don't.
Really don't like that. It goes against like
very weird and wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes against like what you're expecting, how you're expecting behavior to work, because like there's nothing that puts you in the advantage of a clash, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're always on the defense.
No, I don't like that. Yeah.
No, it's not. And like you'd also think like, okay, they're stunned. I'm gonna do my heavy charge attack. That doesn't do extra damage. Okay. That just is designed to break their pip.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, that's very because like I think the thing you said about always being on the defensive is exceptionally like kind of a misunderstanding of Devil May Cry. Like they say they want it to be Devil May Cry, but I think like the thing that really sets Devil May Cry apart is that it does the Doom thing of like push forward combat, right?
Yeah.
Like keep pushing, don't like even Royal Guard is not actually a defensive stance. Like it's for countering, sure, but like the purpose is that you're trying to kind of bait them into attacking you so that you can block their attacks and then immediately unleash like a Royal Guard stance, right?
Right,
like that's the whole thing.
You taunt, draw their attention, and then you block their attack.
Right. So you're never like on the defensive back foot.
Right.
Unlike this, where you always feel like you're kind of at a disadvantage.
Yeah. And it's like, if you had just given me a parry mechanic, and it's like, use the parry to counter moves, to stun them, to cancel their attacks, that would be great. That would be excellent. It would feel really, really good. But no, you also have your charge attacks. You also have these magic, and none of it feels satisfying.
Yeah, they should have picked one of those things.
Yeah,
and focused on that versus trying to do 3 or 4. Yeah. Okay.
So I like the exploration. It's got a very great atmosphere, and like the satisfaction of getting the new thing and going around and opening up all the doors you couldn't before.
Sure. Is
great. But man, I dread every combat room.
Ah, that's a shame.
Like, the only like the nice thing I will say is that combat rooms don't respawn when you leave when you go back to an area.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so you can clear an area out.
Yeah, you can clear an area. Like there will be like incidental enemies that just kind of like they're like the bugs in Metroid that just kind of you use them to harvest to get more missiles or health.
Sure.
But like actual enemies don't reappear.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's not so bad, but still,
yeah,
that's a shame.
I also played Final Fantasy 1.
Yes, that game is still great, isn't it?
It's really, really good, and I have problems with it, but it's really hard to say them because it's Final Fantasy 1.
It's the first one. You know it gets better after this.
Right? Like, oh, it kind of sucks that there's no easy way to, leave a dungeon. Well, yeah, because they didn't really think about that at all, because it was made in 1981 or whatever.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's kind of hard to be like, yeah, I have all these critiques of a 30-year-old video game. Almost a 40-year-old
Yeah,
video
almost 40
game.
at this point. Where
It's like, oh, okay, well,
all these little
mind.
quality of life things had to come from somewhere, so it's hard to be like, oh, this one's not very good.
They had to start somewhere. They didn't quite. And they literally were helping to invent a genre.
Yeah.
They didn't totally invent it, but they were definitely contributing to it. So it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll cut you some slack.
It is cool. It is just a straight graphical port, because I played the Game Boy Advance port of FF1 a while ago, and that adds QOL stuff. This doesn't. You get a map.
That's a shame.
That's about it.
That's kind of a shame, though. It's like, well, you're buying this game again. You could at least do the GBA port, but okay. I guess if they wanted it to be a very faithful.
Yeah, their goal is we want to make the original experience, but graphically enhanced. It looks great. It looks gorgeous. If you do the thing that gets the font to look nice, then you're golden.
Yes, that is no. What did you do there? You replaced it with the Japanese English font, right?
So if you go into the files for the game, and I think this works for all of the FF graphic remakes or whatever, pixel remasters. If you go to the actual font files in the network folders, and you just rename, you delete the English files that already exist, and rename the Japanese English files to the English file format, it just gives you the better looking font.
That's amazing. That's so funny. It's literally that easy. Yeah, because if you don't know, Japanese video games, because they still have to use English text sometimes, they have a kind of standardized width English font that just looks better than the really bad one that Square Enix put in the English version.
Than the really, really compressed, tiny font.
It looks really dreadful, and I can't believe they haven't fixed it yet. It's very weird.
It looks amateurish.
It does. It looks like baby's first RPG Maker.
Yeah,
font. Like you don't understand.
When you're first getting into game design and you don't really know about fonts, how to import them correctly to make them diegetic, and it's you just use the Times New Roman.
Yeah.
It looks like that.
Yeah, it's dire, but that's okay. At least there's a fix.
Yeah, but it's FF1. It is kind of fun to be your entire party is a blank slate.
Sure, absolutely. So, are you going to play? Are you gonna play 2?
I'm gonna move on to 2 once I finish 1.
That's great.
Yeah. This is gonna be an interesting year for me. I'm gonna try to do a bunch of games that I never actually did before. So
well, you're really ticking them off because you're doing old Final Fantasies. We're doing Metal Gear Solid in May. Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
And we're doing. You're also doing Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
Which you've never done RE4 before.
No, I've never done RE4, and I'm probably gonna actually go and I feel like I want to do RE1 remake.
Yeah, I would really like to do RE1 remake as well, honestly. Because I was hanging out with my brother the other day, and we were just kind of fucking around, and so I wouldn't even consider that playing it, just kind of fucking around, in it while we were talking, kind of thing.
Right.
And that game still looks great.
Yeah.
That game still looks amazing. So yeah, I would love to do that.
I was thinking while I was doing RE4, we gotta do RE6. We gotta get back to RE6.
We always say that. I know. We will. Soon.
Yeah, we just need an evening where we don't get on our normal call, and I'll just message you hey, do you want to play some RE6?
Well, play some RE6 instead? Yeah.
So yeah, it's just fun. It's just an old despite my quibbles with really would like a way to just go back to town easily.
Nope.
Because you have your party right off the bat. Everyone gains EXP at the same rate, right? Which means if someone dies, I have to bail on whatever I'm doing.
Right.
I am not letting anyone fall behind. Are you kidding me?
No, absolutely not.
No, not a chance. I will fucking restart a 5-hour set. Like, I will lose 5 hours of gameplay because I forgot to save if their levels get out of whack.
So, I guess because I've never played FF1, now that I think about it. Do you not have, like, Phoenix Downs and stuff?
You do, but they're super expensive.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're crazy expensive.
I see. I'm learning so much.
Yeah. And yeah, they're, so all that stuff exists. It's just like they didn't know how to balance item money, like, shop cost stuff yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's
playing Tales of Arise all over again.
Yeah, exactly. But better characterization for the party.
Hey!
It's funny because there's none.
There's nothing in Tales of Arise.
The joke is these blank slates are better characterized than any party member.
Well, the problem is that the problem in this case is that you named your Final Fantasy 1 party after our Final Fantasy 14 characters.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of that characterization is just backported, so suddenly you're like, oh, it's so charming, right?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of charming, I also played The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
I saw this. I didn't read it only because I think that night was when I picked back up Umineko. And the only reason I didn't talk about Umineko at the beginning of the podcast is because I haven't gotten very much further from where I picked it back up. But it's like, well, I'm reading Umineko, and that's my murder mystery game right now. I can't also do The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. But this is like an official Sega release,
This is an official Sega product.
That's amazing.
It has, and based on the mandates that were issued, we talked about a little while ago, it's canon.
That's great.
It's not a real murder.
No, of course not.
It's Amy's birthday, and they are doing a murder mystery party.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
And Sonic is the victim.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
It's really cute. There was a post that was like, the real April Fool's joke is that Sega put out a game that's like, haha, irony meme game. But it's actually 2 hours of really, really heartfelt character interaction between these guys.
Speaking of Umineko, they won't let you name yourself Phoenix Wright or Shiramira Battler.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is great.
Adorable, yeah.
It's great. They knew exactly what they were doing.
But no, it is actually like a genuine delight. It is kind of like, it is basically just a Phoenix Wright game with the training wheels on.
Sure.
You go to a room, you pick up evidence, you get like 2 pieces of evidence, and then you talk to the characters in that room and present the evidence.
It's only like 2 hours long, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's super short. It's just a fun little free, jokey joke game they put out. But no, it was actually like really like charming.
Sure.
They got to put Knuckles and Shadow in a thing, and they weren't constrained by Sega's weird IDW mandates. So like they got to be characters.
Oh, that's nice.
Like you got to see characters interact that don't normally hang out because like they're all confined to a train. They even have the Phoenix Wright running gag of a character being very, very insistent on their belief about some arbitrary object.
Right. So like a ladder or a step ladder.
Yeah. In this case, it is that you, the player character, are insisted on searching every trash can because there's always a clue in the trash can.
I see.
And Tails, because Tails is your Maya, and he just gets more and more like concerned as you insist on this fact.
That's great.
He's like, at one point he's like, do you want to search the trash can? Like, do you really want to? Like, we haven't found anything so far, but do you want to search the trash can?
Do you really want to do this? It's like, yes, of course.
Of course. One of my favorite jokes is that immediately when the party starts, Shadow runs off and kind of sequesters himself into one of the rooms. And no one really knows why he's doing that. And it turns out the reason is because he realized he didn't get a gift for Amy.
Great.
So he went to one of the private cars that has like a computer, and he was trying to buy her tickets to her favorite band. Which, to me, says a lot in that they are not, Shadow and Amy are not close enough that he would instinctively get her a birthday present.
Right.
But they are close enough that he knows what her favorite band is.
That's incredible characterization, right? Amazing.
I know it is really, really delightful.
Yeah.
There is a minor Sage cameo.
Oh, good.
In it too.
Cute.
And she is wearing a Go Dad shirt. So they know.
Robotnik just has a baby. Good for him.
He has two robot children now. He has Metal Sonic and he has Sage.
Good for him.
Good for him. I also started Dead Cells.
You did it. You pulled the trigger on another roguelike.
I'm going to drop Vernal Edge and I'm going to be playing Dead Cells.
Oh, really? So you just like roguelikes. Because we had this conversation a while ago where it was like, do I like Hades or do I like roguelikes? Like, which one is it?
Right. And I'm really, really enjoying Dead Cells.
Good.
I don't like it as much as Hades.
Sure.
Because the thing I liked about Hades is that you were constantly getting things for your run. You know, like you're just getting stacks and stacks of boons every room, basically. In Dead Cells, it's a little bit more restrained. Like you aren't getting new temporary upgrades every, couple minutes or so. You're just getting a few every once in a while.
Yeah.
But there are a big stack of weapons. It plays really fast and comfortable. You get items you can throw down. You can throw down turrets or grenades. You get swords, giant hammers, different weapons you can pick up and equip. You have 2 weapon buttons, so you can have 2 weapons and then 2 sub weapons. So, it's all about finding the weapons that you really like, and then how you can adapt to assigning them to buttons and whatnot. It's the pixel art is amazing. The lighting is phenomenal.
Sure, yeah.
There's so much dramatic lighting of positionals and shining through doorways and whatnot. It just feels really good. I've only beaten the first major boss, and haven't made a lot of progress beyond that. But I'm enjoying it.
Good.
And yeah, I started and beat Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Yeah, that's getting an episode, so
I won't talk too much about it besides I get it now.
Do you get it now?
I get it. Yeah, even if I know that some things have been changed and maneuvered around, people have been saying it's still RE4.
It's still RE4. Yeah, I've seen enough of it to go oh, okay, it's still RE4. Cool.
And I get it.
Hey, Ben. RE4 is one of the best fucking video games ever made. Do you get it now?
It's, I would say, yes, they're right. This is an immaculate super game.
It is an immaculate super game. It literally is just and even to go back and play the OG, knowing now what I didn't know then, that RE4 was made kind of on a time constraint. I know that Mikami was famously kind of unhappy. That part of what is interesting about RE4 Remake is that there's more kind of story and characterization because they had to cut a lot of that from the OG game for time. And I mean, obviously Mikami doesn't work at Capcom anymore, but that stuff was still laying around.
Right.
And even knowing that certain parts of the original Resident Evil 4 had to be kind of Luis, right? He really doesn't get to do a lot in the he shows up, he flirts with Leon, and then he kind of dies. And so stuff like that gets more fleshed out in the remake. But even
he dies in the original?
What? Sorry.
Kidding. I'm joking.
Okay. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna show up at your house with a gun. You son of a bitch. I got really excited there. That's so mean.
entire time. I was gonna save it for when we did our actual episode, but like, it wasn't.
Well, by then I
you would have known. Like, I was
no.
just like, I better do it now, or I'm not gonna get another chance.
God damn it! Totally derailed everything. This is the end of the 76 episode all over again. Oh, fuck. The point is that RE4 is still in it. Like, the original one is an immaculate super game. Mm-hmm. So the new one is somehow an immaculate superer game?
Like, when I say, like, immaculate super game, I mean, like, it is the idealized video game.
Oh, yeah. Right? There's so much video game per square inch just, like, crammed into Resident Evil 4.
Like, I don't know how to, like, I'll probably have a better chance of articulating this after you've beaten it, too, so we can kind of bounce off each other, but, like, it just, like, when you think of video game.
I mean, yeah, I've played the original one.
Like,
I know what you mean, absolutely.
This is it. Like,
yeah, like, Resident Evil 4 is the ideal distillation of the concept of a video game, right? Yeah. Like, very few other video games exist in the same, like, space. It's like Doom 2016 and maybe like a handful of other ones, right?
Right, yeah. Where it's just like, this is what a video game is. You pick up power-ups. You
zip along, and like it's all about kind of like player interaction. It's a thing that can only ever be a video. Like fucking Resident Evil 2, right? You could turn that into a TV series.
You could.
It would be pretty good. They've tried and they failed, but that's because Capcom bad when it comes to TV and Netflix bad in general. Yeah. So, so those two things coming together, there was no hope for it. But in a cooler universe, you could turn Resident Evil 2 into a TV show. You can't do that at Resident Evil 4. Because, like, its pure joy comes from the psychosis of just doing all this, of, like, suplexing Ganados, right?
Of pushing the buttons.
Yeah. You push the buttons and good shit happens, and you get your dopamine receptors start firing. Like, it's great.
It's the idealized game in the same way that, like, a Mario or a Kirby is, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it's just like, this is a video game. It's not anything else. Yeah. I'm very excited to talk about that next week.
Yes, that's gonna be a good episode. Is that next? Are we talking about it next week?
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna have to start. I'm gonna have to start playing it. I haven't even purchased it yet because I'm cheap, but I'm gonna have to buy it sooner than later. So thank you for the Patreon dollars. Yeah. By the way, everybody, patreon.com/thegorge. Video games are expensive these days, guys. They're starting to charge me $70 for a fucking video game.
They're trying to do that fucking $70 shit. I'm not having it.
Never pay more than $20 for a video game, you know, unless it's Resident Evil 4, in which case it's actually worth it. But in general, never pay more than $20 for a video game.
And then finally, the last thing I did is I watched a Fox in Space episode 2.
I haven't watched it yet. I forgot it came out.
You need to go and watch that.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, man.
I forgot it came out because motherfucker put it out at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
He just dropped it.
Out of nowhere.
He's not on Twitter or anything. Like, he's just like, it's on YouTube. Here it is.
Here you go. And it's like, hello? What? It's been 7 years.
It's like 40 minutes long.
It's like a movie. Yeah, good for him.
I made a comment on the video where I was like, yeah, I remember showing this to my girlfriend in my parents' house. I'm married to her, and now we have our own house.
That's correct. It's like, oh no, I see.
No, he once again, he just has like this mastery of like human interaction.
Sure, natural dialogue.
Being able to put it to animation. Mm-hmm. Like not even like a realistic, like not just like speech patterns, like where characters like interrupt themselves or you know, stammer or anything like that, but like little like quirks of like where their eyes track. Even like there's this great bit where James and Peppy are on a train and they're talking, and it's a really tense moment, and Peppy starts to say something and he stops because they go through a tunnel,
right?
And it's like that sudden shift in like location.
Yeah, that like disrupts your thought process.
Yeah, he's so stressed out that he like that throws him completely off, and he doesn't say a word until they're out of the tunnel.
That's great. That's great.
It's so good.
That's so good. That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love it. Definitely go watch it. ASAP to everyone. Go watch it. Fox and Space episode 2 is.
I mean, my man spent 7 years making it. Like what, out of a trailer somewhere in New Mexico? Is that the lore? That he just was like living in like an airstream somewhere in the middle of the desert making a Star Fox cartoon.
I remember like he would do like 12-hour streams of him just animating scenes.
I love that. My man is literally living the dream.
Yeah. And I think by this point he's kind of done like a Toby Fox thing where he's like, no, I have people who help me now.
Yeah, that's fair. Does he get money on Patreon? Like how
I think he has a Patreon, yeah.
That's incredible. He has a Patreon where he doesn't do anything except stream animating things. Good for him. That's the dream.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely absolutely incredible piece of work. If you like noir, if you like Star Fox, yeah, go watch that.
I gotta watch it soon, I promise.
But that's it for me.
See, I told you, the Ben Power half hour.
Yeah. Let's do the news. We have a little bit more than usual because it's been a little bit longer.
Okay. Let's rapid fire. Let's do some like lightning round shit then.
Some of this is out of date, so it won't be that long to cover. Okay. New Persona 5 spin-off game announced.
Looks cool. Shame that it's China only.
I'm sure it'll come out in America.
It's such an interesting game because it just kind of looks like a Persona 5 remake, but with different characters.
It looks like, when I first saw it, and I saw it was coming out in China, I'm like, oh, it's like that TF2 knockoff that was released in China.
Oh yeah.
Where the pyro was just like a straight fireman now. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, they're totally ganking. What do you mean Atlas is making it?
It's like an official one. Hello?
What do you mean? Because it shows like, here's your protagonist, here's their animal friend in their backpack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you're just straight up ripping off Persona 5. What do you mean it's official?
It's like I'm like wondering if there's going to be some sort of weird twist where it's like an alternate universe or something. Because like,
right?
It's so one-to-one that I think it would be really interesting if they did something fun like that. I don't know what the gacha is for. I know there's a weapons gacha, but is it just weapons?
I would assume like it's personas, right?
Right,
like,
I guess so. Personas and weapons, yeah.
Yeah, you do a random poll to get a persona. The new attendant looks so good.
Love the new attendant. Honestly, all of the character designs for this fucking China only gacha game spinoff look amazing.
They look so good that it can't be China exclusive.
They have to put it this is just like a test market, right? Like they have to put it everywhere else.
There's no way you could just keep all that restrained and not throw it to America, because America loves Persona.
Yeah, I mean, my God, it's still great over here. Absolutely, put it over here. I'll play it.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that a shot.
I give it a shot. Fuck, why not? I love Persona and I love those character designs. Absolutely.
The gacha animation of EY getting you a new weapon looks so fucking sick.
It looks sick. Yeah, that's the thing, is that the game looks great. So like, I'll play it. Why not?
Mm-hmm. We're never getting Persona 6.
We're never getting Persona 6. No, that's the one thing, is that we're never even getting Persona 5 Arena at this rate. Like, we're just getting gacha games and other spin-offs. It's like, oh, okay. Okay, we live in hell. Okay. It's the new Persona 4. I knew it was going to happen.
Yep. What if they put Persona 4 characters in the gacha?
They're not going to do that because they're cowards, and they're not going to age up anybody in Persona 4 because that would be too cool.
Next, tragically underrated 90s cartoon is finally getting the video game it deserves.
What?
Toxic Avengers. Toxic Crusaders is getting a beat 'em up.
That's great. Okay, cool.
So the studio is Retroware, who did the AVGN games.
Okay.
So those are pretty good.
Sure.
It looks a ton like Shredder's Revenge.
Sure. I mean, that's not surprising at all, considering the kind of time frame that it's pulling from. Yeah.
Yeah. 4-player co-op.
Sure.
Based on, if anyone doesn't know, Toxic Crusaders is a 13-episode cartoon based on the very adult R-rated movie, The Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, that was a normal thing that happened in the 90s all of the time.
All the time. RoboCop gets a cartoon. There's Alien action figures. There's Predator action figures. It doesn't matter if the shit was rated R and has the most like gruesome, realistic depictions of violence and gore and horror known to man. Kids will love it.
The kids will eat it up. Mm-hmm. Fucking Men in Black got a cartoon, and it was great.
It was great.
You know?
So yeah, it's a four-player co-op game. The big cool thing about it is that it's going to have voice acting in it.
Oh wow.
The voice cast is Team 4-Star.
Oh, that's awesome. Good for them. Hell yeah. Get paid, guys.
Yeah.
Good for them. Get to go be real voice actors. Awesome.
So they are I think this is their first like non-Dragon Ball related thing they've been allowed to voice.
They should absolutely make a push to do to be like a voice acting gang for like video games and stuff. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I know they've kind of been like blacklisted from the actual dubbing industry.
Sure. They're too cool. Their dicks are too big.
I know. It's such a shame because so they've also been putting out like episode commentaries, so I've been like rewatching the show along with them. Fucking Lanny Patoris and Takahata and Kaiser Neko, they're such good voice actors.
They're so good at their jobs at this point now, right? Like right? The thing is that they need real voice acting jobs because they're too cool, and it sucks that they're just kind of stuck. I mean, I guess they make a lot of money off of Patreon these days, so good for them.
Yeah.
But let them be in video games and stuff. They're cool.
I don't presume to speak for them, but I can tell, especially with Kaiser Neko, he loves editing.
Sure.
And they all love voice acting, and they just don't get a lot of opportunities to do it anymore.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But no, I'll happily support this because it's a 4-player retro beat 'em up based on a cartoon that I used to I was vaguely aware of, and it's gonna have a great voice cast in it.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it now. Yeah.
Yeah. I always thought it was hilarious when it's Rambo for kids.
Right. Yeah. No. There was Rambo. There was Men in Black. There was the Godzilla cartoon, the edgy one, not the 60s one. There was so much shit like that. It was just it was the 80s. We had deregulated the animation industry, so everything was a cartoon, a commercial now.
Did Terminator get a cartoon?
No, not that I'm aware of.
No. Okay.
No. That's so strange though, because it seems like the perfect fit, but I guess not. James Cameron is too cool, I guess. He was like, nah, that's not happening.
That's not me.
That's not me. James Cameron's a cool guy. I'm sorry. I actually really like James Cameron now. That's the story for another day, but James Cameron is cool. Sorry, guys.
Next, Shazam 2's opening weekend is DC's biggest box office flop. 30 million opening weekend.
That's rough. That's bad.
That's not a good number.
I'm sorry. Shazam, the first one did really well, but it was also kind of lightning in a bottle.
Lightning, because he gets struck by lightning to get powers.
Yeah, I get it. The point is, you can't do it again. You couldn't do it again. I'm sorry. Especially when you kind of MCU-ify it, where it's everybody's got the Shazam powers now.
Well, that's the comic.
I know, but it doesn't that doesn't work for the movies. You know what I mean? I know that's the comic, but that first movie was, the fun of it was that it was kind of like a Spielberg movie, right? Whereas a kid who gets superpowers and he goofs off. It's a fun time.
That's a really good way of putting it. It's a Spielberg movie.
It was a Spielberg movie, yeah, totally. The same way. You ever seen the movie Super 8? It's a J.J. Abrams flick where it's it's about a bunch of kids who find an alien, but it's kind of got that J.J. Abrams mystery box kind of veneer over it. It's really good, actually, for being a J.J. Abrams movie. And it's literally just J.J. Abrams making an homage to Spielberg, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
A great movie, fantastic movie. But it's the same vibes there as Shazam, where it's the genre is kind of different, but these vibes of like a kid interacts with something fantastical, but it's all still kind of down to earth and you're still kind of just goofing off like as a kid.
Right.
Like that's E.T., right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then you can't really take that and then MCU-ify it, right?
And then like they expanded beyond where it should have been contained, right?
And the problem is also that they just I didn't even know that movie was coming out yet.
It was very stealth released.
Yeah, that movie was dead on arrival. So, there's a reason James Gunn is rebooting that whole franchise now.
Yeah. It's not on the docket, but the trailer for Blue Beetle came out, and that looks fucking amazing.
I hadn't watched it yet, but everybody's freaking out that it's like a big Kamen Rider reference.
Oh, it's
cool.
It's so tokusatsu. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So good. But yeah, that's... between Black Adam and
Black Adam also extremely flopping. Yeah. I mean, it is like, it does clear my skin, water my crops, make my day better. That like Ultimania or whatever, Quantum Mania, that fucking thing, it also flopped.
Yeah.
By Marvel standards, it flopped.
Mm-hmm.
The new Shazam flopped. The Black Adam movie flopped. It's like, fuck yes. Kill these things. Kill these things. Free us from this shit.
James Gunn had a like an interview recently where he talked about how like it's not superhero fatigue. We're just sick of these movies being the same thing over and over again.
The same thing over and over again. Absolute. Free me from this malaise. I would actually just like less superhero movies in general. I think there's too many of them, and I think most of them are bad at this point. I even saw the poster for the new Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I love Guardians too. Like, that's a great movie. And I didn't even have a single neuron fire. I just saw it, and I was like, oh, they've all gotten so old.
Yeah.
The time for that movie is past. It was 5 years ago when that movie should have come out, and it's like, oh no, okay. So, like, it's just, I think it is superhero fatigue to a certain extent. Like, I know there's a huge, so it's just like, make another movie.
We just need to, like, do things with the genre, You
get two no. My rule is you get two a year.
You get two a year?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. You get two a year.
No, that's fair, though.
Marvel only gets two a year. DC only gets two a year. And if you're making, like, and I don't know, if you're Sony and you're making an X-Men movie because you know. No, that's right. They finally sold that shit to Marvel.
No, yeah, Marvel as the X-Men now.
You only get two a year then. Sorry, that's the rule.
I think the only character that's still not under Marvel is the Spider-Man. Hulk. Oh, no, Spider-Man's still Sony. Yeah, that's right. No,
Spider-Man is still Sony. It's just a joint thing there because Sony is making the big bucks off of that one, which I mean, fair. Yeah.
They are still not allowed to make a solo Hulk movie because he's still owned by Universal.
I see. Okay.
Which is why the new Captain America movie has a bunch of Hulk characters in it.
I see.
Because if they can put Mark Ruffalo in the Captain America movie, it's not a Hulk movie.
That's not a Hulk movie. It's a Captain America movie. Never mind the fact that it's mostly Hulk characters. Anyways, also I changed my mind. You get one a year. I'm sorry. I actually have changed. I thought about it more and I was like, 2 years is too many. You get one. Everybody gets one. You gotta pick.
Yeah.
So you need to be more judicious with your superhero movie. Vote for me. That's my presidential platform. I'm going to run on the fact that I think Marvel and DC and Sony and all those motherfuckers, you only get one a year. Sorry, guys. Yep. That's the new rule. So make it count. You get to put your Spider-Man and your Superman movie out in the same year. And then next year's Batman and whoever the fuck else Marvel has. I don't know. Sorry.
Next, Atari enters into agreement to acquire Night Dive Studios.
They're dead.
I didn't think Atari could do that.
No, Atari still has money, and Night Dive is not that big of a studio.
I read that and I was like I didn't know Atari had the capability to buy a studio because I figured Atari was just an empty building. That they continued to release on.
No, they still put things out. They're a publisher mostly. But Atari is definitely flagged with the Fallout Thought You Died perk, for sure. But no, like, the thing is that Atari still has some money from publishing. They also get a lot of money just from royalties, right? Because they're Atari. Like, they have a shit ton of money from publishing and from just, like, being Atari, right?
Right.
The video game company that everybody knows. Even my mom knows what Atari is. So, like, and Night Dive is small. They're literally just a studio that focuses on remastering old video games. They don't make anything new. It's like 15 guys, and one of them now is the guy who did the RE4 HD remake, right?
Right.
So, like, that was probably an extremely cheap act. But that was cheap heat for them, that they could just buy that and snatch that shit up instantly. But they're dead. That sucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't expect anything, like, to come out of this, but...
No.
Whatever.
It's a shame. Maybe they'll put that fucking System Shock 1 remake out, finally, for realsies.
Yeah, hopefully.
I
that was already out, wasn't that?
I thought it was another demo they just
System
put out.
Shock 1, I think, is out. I don't think they put out 2.
Oh, they're never going to put out 2. But, like, did they put out 1? I thought they just put out another demo. Hold on, folks. We have to consult Google for this one.
The article says their most recent project is a remastered version of the classic FPS. Oh, and no, most anticipated release of 2023, so it's still not out yet.
Yeah. The release date is allegedly May 30th of 2023, according to Google.com. So, we'll see. Hopefully they'll put that thing out, and then, poor Night Dive will probably just crash and burn, like everything that gets acquired by everything these years.
Mm-hmm.
So... But we're never getting a System Shock 2 remake.
No, of course not. And next in news that sounds like a fake 4chan leak. Beloved TMNT graphic novel The Last Ronin is becoming a video game.
Yeah, and they want it to be like a God of War style video game.
Yeah.
Weird. That one's years out, and there's a 200% chance it gets quietly canceled.
Right.
Right? Like what's the over-under on that, right? Like 10-1 odds?
Oh, I think we're gonna see at E3, or at not E3, is it on the docket? Did I remember to put that on the docket?
Did you forget to put the E3 is dead on the docket? I forgot
to put that on the docket. E3 is dead.
Oh, wow. That's really all it is.
Is Sega and Ubisoft backed out of E3, so they're like, well, we just rented an empty studio.
we literally don't have anything to put on the floor anymore. So E3 is dead. Whoops.
So and then Jeff Keighley didn't pull the knife out of E3's back before he's like, yeah, see you at the Summer Games.
Oh, Jeff. Oh, you motherfucker. Wow.
The body had not even finished bleeding out.
They're still twitching on the floor.
There was still brain activity.
You could see the light you could see the light in their eyes.
Before Jeff was like, see you at the Summer Games.
Brutal. Like Game of Thrones shit, right? Chaos is a ladder and Jeff Keighley is climbing it.
But no, what I think is at Summer of Games, we'll see TMNT The Last Ronin coming 2024.
Sure.
And then never again.
Oh no. It'll be a sizzle trailer, right? That won't actually show anything. It'll be like a logo. It'll
show the 4 sets of weapons.
Right.
TMNT The Last Ronin, 2024, and then nothing forever.
That's it. Nothing forever. Who's making it? Did they say?
It doesn't even. I don't even think it says who's on the.
Sorry, folks. That one's dead. No, that one's dead.
For making it.
No.
Let me see.
I know that
Paramount
Sony...
Global? That can't be right.
That can't be right.
Oh, they're just the rights holders for the franchise. Yeah. I don't think they have a studio then.
Okay, that shit's not real.
That's not coming out.
That's not coming out. No.
Activision? No.
No, that's not coming out, Ben.
Yeah, nope.
No. Sorry, folks.
Rosen said to expect more details on The Last Ronin and much more from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and video games in the coming months and years. Yeah, that's not happening.
No. Sorry, guys. That one's not real.
Yeah. I didn't particularly like The Last Ronin anyway. But
I haven't read it, but everybody's in love with it, so...
It's Did you like Old Man Logan?
Oh. So it's that everybody is dead except for Leonardo?
Michelangelo is the last one standing.
Wow, that's even more.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of interesting, but no thank you.
So like the first issue doesn't reveal, like the whole premise is like, which turtle is it? You know? They shouldn't have revealed it. It should have just been completely ambiguous the whole time.
Yeah, just keep it totally, that's a good idea. Yeah.
You know? That would have at least been like a cool hook. Next, Counter-Strike 2 is real, free, and everything carries over.
That's insane. Speaking of games that absolutely are 4chan leaks, but this one is just like real, and Valve is like, nope, we got it. What year is it?
They put a 2 on Counter-Strike.
They put a 2 at the end of Counter-Strike after 20 years, 30 years?
I know.
That's illegal. You're not allowed to do that.
I never played a lot of Counter-Strike. Did you ever play a lot of Counter-Strike?
Oh god, no. I was a girl in the 1990s. Of course I didn't play Counter-Strike. Do you think I want to spend my entire, preteen years being called slurs that haven't been heard in 3,500 years? No, thank you.
I mean, I don't have much to say about it, besides I'm sure a lot of people who aren't us are excited about this.
Sure, I saw people getting excited about this, but to me it's insane to even put a 2 at the end of Counter-Strike.
The bullshit news continues.
Stop!
Multiverse's open beta closes June 25th, full launch early 2024. Oh, it was an open beta.
They're making that up. No, they're making that up. That was a full release video game that they're now pulling for the same reason that you can't watch Adventure Time on the HBO Max anymore.
It was an open beta the whole time, right? Of course. I mean, of course it was an open beta.
Totally, man. Absolutely. No. They're lying to you. That game is never coming back out, guys.
No, you will not get refunded on your purchases. Unlike what was it that just got shut down? Rumbleverse?
Oh, was it did Rumbleverse just get shut down? Damn.
Yeah, and they actually did refund everyone's purchases.
Oh, good for them. Okay.
But
no, that game's never coming.
Ain't no way that's happening with multiverses.
No, guys, no, sorry. They're taking that money and they're running.
Thanks for testing our game.
Bye. Thanks for all the money, suckers. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no. Next, random. It's okay, everyone. Kirby doesn't digest his enemies.
There's a lot of knowledge that I wanted to have in the world. There's a lot of things I'd like to know, just in general. I'd like to know another language. I'd like to know kind of some of the greater secrets of the universe. Like, what does the Voynich manuscript say? Right? Things like that. We didn't need to have that conversation.
So, they put out an article based on an interview with HAL Laboratory Executive Director Shinya Kumazaki. Quote, "Instead, we have this comical, funny depiction where the enemies poof. When an enemy or creature gets swallowed by Kirby, they may disappear, but they do resurface somewhere else in the world."
Oh, so it's Scott Pilgrim logic.
So Kirby is not a cannibal, it turns out.
That's good.
His stomach is just a portal to another reality that just pops you out somewhere else in the world.
I just feel like that's we didn't even need that level of explanation, right?
We didn't really need to. We didn't need you to say it, but I'm glad you did say it.
Sure, but that's a degree of abstraction that we didn't need to kind of erase, right? Now that we know Kirby is like a portal to other parts of the world, we didn't need that. Folks, we didn't need that. Why were you asking that of the guy who makes Kirby in the first place?
It's like when someone asked if Ranma can get pregnant when he's a girl. And she was like, "I don't think about that, neither should you."
Correct. That's the actual answer to what happens to the things that Kirby eats. Not that Kirby is an interdimensional portal inside of his belly.
So yeah, that was just a little surprise fact we got to learn.
Great. Thanks. Now that's in my head forever. Thanks, Ben.
It's better than, oh yeah, Kirby eats them and they're digested horribly.
That's not. I didn't even. But I also didn't think that. We didn't.
You just thought it was an abstraction where he just eats things.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's a cartoon.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It was a cartoon. I don't think about it, and neither should you. That's my whole motto. That's my motto going forward.
Next, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom official gameplay demonstration.
Looks goofy in a fun way. I'm looking forward to it.
I cannot wait to play Legend of Zelda Nuts and Bolts.
Nuts and Bolts is correct, yeah.
I think the burrowing move is also really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because like one of the big problems of the game was like when it's raining, you can't climb mountains at all. So what do? You go in a cave and then you just warp your way to the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, they showing off all the Skyworld stuff. Just like a whole bunch of new features. The weapon fusion thing is also fucking hilarious.
Extremely funny. Just make a bigger stick.
Yeah. Just keep slapping things onto your sword.
No, it's extremely funny.
Turn this stick and this rock into a rock stick.
Knife gun. Oh god, yeah, it looks great. I'm extremely looking forward to actually having to borrow somebody's Switch. I don't own a Nintendo Switch, guys. To patreon.com/thegorge. In the meantime, I'm gonna have to like ask my brother's children, right?
Right.
Be like, can Aunt Sarah borrow one of your Switches? Like, that's a normal thing for an adult woman to have to do, is ask my 9-year-old niece if I can borrow her Switch.
So my sister was telling me the other day, actually, they had to go and get RJ my nephew a new Switch because he spilled ice cream on his.
Oh. Yeah, that's correct.
So she was talking to me about how like, I had to send my husband out to go get one from GameStop and whatever, and they're like, do you want the special edition? And he's like, no, whatever, he said like, my wife's not gonna let me buy the special edition. And then like they were talking to other, like, and then she was like, oh, it's only $40 more. Yeah, go get the OLED version, whatever. So like, she goes with him back to GameStop to return it because they were like, together at that point. And the cashier's like, oh, you're the wife that wouldn't let him get it. She's like, what did you say?
What did you say? Don't talk about it. It's great. It's great.
Which he meant in the sense of, my wife's not going to let me spend $40 extra on a Switch for my child. For a baby, right? Like my son isn't going to care. And
no, yeah, of course, but like the way it sounds, comes out, it's not right. It sounds wrong. Yeah,
no, my wife won't let me grab it.
My wife's boyfriend won't let me buy this OLED. Oh god. Yeah, I'm literally gonna have to like go to one of my like probably my most I have 3 nieces and a nephew. I have one niece who's extremely reasonable. I'm gonna be like, can Sarah borrow your Switch for like a month? And she'll probably be like, yeah, it's okay. She's the niece that I bought art supplies for, so I can be like, Sarah bought you those art supplies.
Mm-hmm. You got to make sure though, does she like Zelda?
I don't think so. They're like Mario kids. I think I'm in the clear. Yeah. Honestly, my brother's a more Zelda person than I am, but he's also got, they've also got like 2 other Switches in that house. So it'll be fine.
So he'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Oh, because he'll be playing her Switch anyway.
Yeah, so, he'll be playing one of the other kids' Switches. Like, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I'm really excited to just build boats and stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's gonna scratch the same part of my brain that like Fallout did, but as vehicles instead.
Yeah. Next, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 release date, rumors, trailer, and more.
So that shit's coming out in September because like a mocap actor let it slip, which is very funny.
He was very much like, "Oh yeah, it's coming out," and then like a day later, he's like, "I'm very sorry.
I very much apologize. Insomniac called my house and told me they were going to send a deep web hitman if I didn't apologize.
They were gonna send the real Venom to eat my brain."
They have him for motion capture, you see. And they will send him to my house to eat me alive. So So extremely funny tweet, by the way, to be so cavalier and be like, yeah, man, I heard it's coming out in September. I've got promotion materials and everything. It's like, bro, dude,
you can't do that.
You can't do that, my man.
I'm sorry.
E3 is literally like not E3, because again, E3 is dead, but the summer of gaming is coming. And Sony is going to do a state of play. And they were going to be like,
it's coming out in September.
It's June. It's coming out in September. Aren't you so excited? Now everyone's like, yeah, we know. And Sony's like, motherfucker. So,
like, that's going to suck, though. Because that was supposed to be Starfield's month.
Yeah,
and now I gotta look at both these ice cream cones in my hand, and they're both starting to melt.
I got bad news for you, buddy. I got bad news for you, buddy. It's gonna be a Starfield episode. It's not gonna be a Spider-Man 2 episode.
I know that, but I still gotta play it. I still gotta be like, how do I play Starfield and Spider-Man at the same time? What do I do?
Oh, God. I'm going to have to get a new graphics card. By the way, not looking forward to finally having to bite the bullet, buy a new graphics card, because I got a 1080. That motherfucker's not going to run Starfield, so, oops.
No.
So Starfield's going to cost me a whole lot more than $70.
That game's going to run bad enough on its own. You don't need to, drop down to low-quality textures
I don't need to be running that thing on medium graphical quality and also be playing a Bethesda game on PC at launch. No, that's not happening, guys.
Just like Sarah with, the most sour look on her face, and she's like, shadows to low.
Shadow to I can play Fallout 4 on high quality graphics. And Todd Howard's like, this isn't Fallout 4, bitch. It's been 7 years. Shut up. Shut up, Todd. I know it's been 7 years. Fuck you. Where's Fallout 5?
No, I'm gonna. If this shit actually does come out in September, I'm gonna be like,
you're not gonna sleep.
No, I have no time for anything else.
It's just Starfield and Spider-Man. Oh, that's a weird combination of things to be in your brain when you go to bed at night, right?
Right. I mean, that has
in between planets.
I mean, it's all been in my brain since I've been, for about 15 years now.
That's correct.
Fallout and Spider-Man, because they've just always been in there.
Yeah, you're never gonna be free.
No. But yeah, nothing else besides that. But fuck, man.
Shit.
That Wolverine game is gonna come out soon too.
Wait,
not soon, but at some point, Wolverine game.
Oh yeah.
Remember Insomniac is still making that Wolverine game?
Still making that Wolverine game. That game's probably not gonna be until at least next year, at least.
Yeah, I think so.
Early next year, probably. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Just very funny situation.
Oh yeah. No, you're gonna be a sitcom protagonist who scheduled 2 dates on the same night.
Exactly.
Going back and forth between restaurants, like, hey baby, how you doing, Starfield? And it's like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then you run across the street and you're like, hey, Spider-Man 2, how's it going?
I'm gonna be playing one of them and thinking I could be playing the other one right now.
I could be playing the other, even though you're having a good time with both.
Yeah,
right? This is not I'm playing a bad video game and I could be playing a good video game right now.
No,
is, oh no, too many cakes.
I know.
Too many pancakes.
It's instead of it being holy shit 2 cakes, it's like, oh fuck, 2 cakes. Oh man, which one do I eat? They're gonna go bad.
Oh. Well, at least you can be sure that Spider-Man 2 will hopefully run better than Starfield when it comes out.
That's not gonna be hard.
That's not. Yeah, no. I'm looking forward to Starfield very much, but I'm also looking forward to what a fucking mess Starfield's gonna be. Maybe I can borrow somebody's Xbox, same way I'm gonna borrow somebody's Switch to play Zelda. You know?
I think borrowing an Xbox Series X is a little bit harder sell than borrowing your niece's Switch.
That's true. My niece doesn't have an Xbox either, so I can't exactly be like, honey, can I borrow your student Xbox as well?
I think you might just have to bite the bullet and look
get a new graphics card. No, I also gotta get new RAM. I've only got 8 gigabytes, which was good 5 years ago.
Yeah. Maybe Spider-Man 2 will be PS5 exclusive.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
we'll finally get a PS5 exclusive game.
That'd That'd be really nice, so that you could actually justify owning your PS5.
We lost one.
We lost one. Horizon is also coming. We lost. We lost many.
Well, Forbidden West was on PS4 in the first place.
Oh, that's right.
Like the number of PS5. I'm gonna look.
Oh, that's right, because Ratchet and Clank is coming out on PC now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, folks. I guess I get it. Sony's doing the Microsoft strategy where it's like, fuck it, just put them out, like get them everywhere in front of as many eyeballs as possible. We will make another $1 that way. But like, man, I hadn't turned when my brother and I were hanging out to play Resident Evil 1 and just kind of talk. That was the first time I had touched my PlayStation 5 in like months. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh no.
We've got Astro's Playroom.
Mm-hmm. Demon Souls,
Destruction All Stars.
Oh, that's not a winner.
I guess Call of the Mountain. Well, like PSVR 2 games are PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, but those don't. That's different.
16 is a timed exclusive.
Yeah, but they haven't said how long it's going to be a time for them. For now, we're taking that W.
Yeah.
God of War, Ragnarok. For now, that's going to eventually be on PC.
No, that's not on the list.
Is it not?
I think that was released on PC.
No, that can't already be on PC, because it took forever for the first God of War game to be on PC. It's not on PC. There's no way. Google it.
November 9th, 2022.
Ragnarok?
It's on it's on PC.
What? It was like simultaneous?
Or wait, no, maybe it's the original God of War.
That's the original. No, that's not on PC yet.
Then was it on PS? Was Ragnarok on PS4?
Yes. I think. Look, the point is, PS5 doesn't have a lot of W's, but frankly, neither does Xbox, so it's fine.
It was on PS4.
Oh, we're never gonna get an exclusive PS5 game.
Rift Apart is coming to PC. Rise of the what is? Oh, that's not out yet. Mm-hmm. And Stellar Blade also isn't out yet. Mm. Yeah, it's only got, as of right now, it's got 4 games that are actually only on the PS5 and not on the PS4 as well.
I'm really looking forward to Spider-Man 2 potentially being our first big exclusive in a long time.
Yeah.
So I can justify owning my PS5. By the way, unrelated, I might be selling a PS5. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Use the PS5 money to buy a better graphics card.
Frankly, if it weren't for the fact that Final Fantasy 16 is like technically a timed exclusive, but it's gonna be a really long time until Final Fantasy 16 is on anything else, I would. But like, I do need to play FF16 when it comes out. So like, even if it's bad, right? Mm-hmm. So like, yeah.
Next, Scott Pilgrim anime will bring back the movie's entire cast.
This is insane.
They just got everyone.
They just got everyone. They got Chris Evans. They got Captain America to come back and play his fuckboy character. Good for him.
They got Brie Larson.
It's great. I'm very happy. It looks, it's going to be awesome. We haven't seen anything, but like, it looks awesome in my mind.
It is the studio that did Devilman Crybaby and Keep Your Hands Off Isoken.
So it's going to be good. Yeah.
It's going to look good.
It's going to look good.
The movie is by the music is by Anamanaguchi.
Of course.
Because yeah. It's got the whole cast of the movie. And, like, this is all the best parts of all the different Scott Pilgrim media. Like, in one thing.
Yeah, Oh, do we know the release date? Did they say? Like
nope,
a tentative?
No date at all yet.
So it's going to be a little while.
I have a feeling it's just going to be one season.
Sure.
I think you can cover the whole thing.
You could fit the whole thing in one season.
Yeah.
If it's 26 episodes, especially, like, you could do the whole thing.
I don't even think you need that many.
Yeah, you do, 13 episodes?
It's 6 volumes long, and a lot of those volumes are characters sitting around and talking.
That's true. I'm really looking forward to it anyways, because it's basically going to be the next Cyberpunk Edgerunners, in that, like, it's going to be an anime made by a Japanese company, but with, like, Western movie sensibilities, and that's, like, what makes Edgerunner so weird and fascinating, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, good in a very strange kind of way, and I think that Scott Pilgrim can also be that. So I'm extremely looking forward to it, is the point I'm trying to make.
I'm very excited for it.
Scott Pilgrim is good.
It's actually a really good, like, I really, really enjoy the comic.
If the anime, so if it's got an anime, right, and the comic is technically a manga, I saw this on Twitter.
Yeah.
Does this not make the movie Tokusatsu?
I think that's correct.
That's correct. It has the vibes.
I think Edgar Wright directed a Western Tokusatsu with Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I think so. That's fair.
Also, Edgar Wright is involved in the anime.
Oh, well, it's going to be perfect then.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Never mind.
It's literally everything
It's
good.
literally everything you would want from Scott Pilgrim anime. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I can't wait to actually see what it's going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, this is a twofer, so I'm going to read both of these articles back to back.
Oh, no.
Overwatch 2's hot new support hero, Lifeweaver, leaks. Fans already obsessed. Next article. Activision Blizzard sued by U.S. Justice Department for suppressing esports wages.
They can't keep getting away with it!
Are you fucking kidding me?
They are literally... It was a meme, but now I do legitimately think they have like 15 characters just like waiting in the wings for any time something goes wrong, right?
Like, I've seen people talking about how, like, you know, it is unrealistic of like they don't have announcements at the ready when bad news hits. That's not how these press cycles work.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads me to believe that A, this person is wrong and like Blizzard does have this on the go. Or B, Activision Blizzard does so much shady shit that gets into the news so often that there's always some bad news happening when they do a scheduled announcement of something.
Both are bad. Both options are bad.
Yeah.
Neither is good, is the thing. That's the important part to this whole thing, is that, like, you realize both of those options are quite bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, Activision Blizzard, do you understand that?
There's no winning in this.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, no, I like the character design, but it's an Overwatch character. I don't play Blizzard games because I'm not a fucking stoop.
Right.
Like, the character design looks cool, he looks great, you know? But, also...
The fact that he's pansexual...
is so blatant.
Is what adds this to the, you just threw this character out.
You can absolutely have pan characters in your game. That's not what we're saying.
Of course.
However, it's so blatant.
It's every time.
It's never been more blatant than now, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's incredible to me. I do legitimately think I'm a Blizzard truther. I think they have 15 characters already made and ready to go, and they know they're going to have more legal problems down the line, so they're like, fuck it, put another one out. Yeah. Or, even worse, they've just got like 35 guys chained up in a basement somewhere, so every time something goes wrong with the company, they can, like, crack the whip and put those 35 guys to work making a character as fast as possible, right?
Yeah.
So, which in and of itself, ironically, would justify a scandal that would require the release of another Overwatch character. Yeah.
What do they do when the news comes out that internal memo leaks reveal that Blizzard does release new characters whenever bad news is in the press cycle?
That's when they put out another Call of Duty game.
Well, that's what they do. You read the article and then like an hour later, update. Yeah, this is what we mean, and they point to the new character they announced.
That's correct. Or that's when they would finally bite the bullet and canonize Reaper 76.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's when that would happen. If it came out that yeah, they actually do have a stable of characters set aside for when scandals happen, they would instead be like, actually, Makanzo, I guess his name isn't McCree anymore, but fuck you, that's the name of the ship. That's canon, and so is Reaper 76. Yeah, those are both canon now.
We're just gonna, like...
Overwatch is now a BL game, you're welcome.
Bobby Kotick has a button, like, on his desk. Like underneath the desk.
Yeah, like a panic button.
Yeah, like he his hand like shakes underneath it. Every so often he's like, no, not yet.
Not yet. Bobby Kotick would wait for the FBI to come, knock down his door for that chick he murdered in Barbados or something, and then he would finally press it,
Instead of, the button, leading to, a panic room where he can hide when, the SWAT team bursts in. Yeah. He presses that to make Reaper 76 canon.
That's correct! Oh, fuck. Yeah, no. It's stunning, folks. It really is it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm very impressed by it, honestly.
It's happened so many times.
It happens literally every single time. Yeah, no. So I'm an Overwatch character truther. I think they have a whole bunch just ready to go and they just haven't announced them yet,
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. Yeah. I totally think that they just have a stable because there's no lore.
No, there's no lore anymore. They haven't put out an animated movie in 5 years.
Yeah, they haven't put out any new story content. It's Overwatch 2 and Overwatch hasn't been reformed yet.
Yeah, it's really stunning to me. Just maybe how obvious it is.
Maybe in this one she'll become the Tomb Raider.
Maybe finally she'll become the Tomb Raider. Maybe finally Overwatch will get back together in the video game Overwatch 2. I doubt it.
They're usually they used to be new character would come out, they'd get a trailer to announce their reveal, they
get a background, a video that's Apex Legends still does it where they put out these beautiful Sara and Stone, actually, by the way, side note, Sara and Stone, who did Transformers comics, that's one of their jobs now, is that they do Apex Legend animated shorts and stuff.
Ooh, that's cool.
But yeah, the point is that Apex Legends still does that, where a new character or some new little thing will happen, and they'll put out a motion comic kind of, not a true animated short, but a cute kind of motion comic thing, to explain the lore of it and whatnot. Overwatch hasn't done that in forever for any of these new characters.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing has come out in years of
So maybe they really, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't have a stable. Maybe they really do just have 35 guys chained up in a basement somewhere. Because at that point you just need to make the model, make the character design, and make their gameplay, right? They have to have that down to a fucking pipeline. The news is going to break in 2 weeks because somebody told you. So they're all right, people, we got to make a new character.
Get on that.
Nobody's going home tonight. Everybody drink your breast milk.
Yeah. God.
You're welcome.
I don't want to put that as the title of the episode.
Too bad. That's the title of the episode. You're welcome. Everybody drink your breast milk.
God. How many episodes of this podcast since we started doing the news have we dedicated to some article about
Activision Blizzard? It's gotta be at least 35%, right?
Yeah, there's gotta be. It's enough.
It's
how many? Enough.
Too many is the actual answer.
Yeah.
I would like to stop talking about them, so I would like for them to stop doing shitty things. Please.
Yeah, well...
Too bad.
Maybe that deal will, maybe the deal took a hit now that they're being sued by the U.S. Justice Department.
Please. I would just like to stop talking about them. I would like for all of them to go bankrupt.
Also, this article came out today. Update, settlement reached.
For what?
For the civil lawsuit.
Oh, great. Fantastic.
That was quick.
That was fast. Good for them.
Let me see if there's a computer. It's gibberish, blah, 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 blah.
It's legalese. It's fine. The point is settlement reach. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Wow. Great. Cool. Hey, we got through that news faster than I expected. I thought we were going to be here for 2 hours, but we lightning rounded that shit, baby.
Yeah, it was a lot of smaller scale stuff.
Exactly.
Nothing that we needed to really, really dive into.
Every time Activision Blizzard news happens, they basically announce Activision Blizzard announces new segment on the Gorge.
Right.
You know?
All right.
Get us out of here.
Yep, that's about it. that's about it for us. Thank you to Adventuria for background music. You can follow me on Twitter.
By the way, I gotta interrupt you. Do you just pick that during the episode? Do you decide who's going to do the background music
I look
as
at
you do this?
I look at I think of the 4 names we have for background music, and I'm like, what haven't I used in a while?
Fantastic. Okay. Anyways, carry on.
Thanks to Adventuria for using background music. You can follow me on Twitter at thegorgepodcast. You can call Sara at radioinactivity. You can email us at thegorgepodcast@gmail.com. And that's about it. What do we got?
We can't say.
We can't do it again. We've done it like 5 times.
We can't.
This year.
We're a broken record. We can't do it. The year just started. We've already done. Fuck Activision.
Yeah, you know what? I got one. I want one. Fuck you, WB. This was not an. You're
lying. Yeah, no,
you're full of
stupid.
shit. Don't you try to pull.
How stupid do you think I am?
Don't you try to pull that bullshit on me.
You have a lot of balls to try and be like, no, that was beta. That was an open beta for a whole year.
That's like fucking you. You fucking like buy a car from like a used car salesman.
Yeah.
And like a year later he's knocking on your door like, hey, you gonna turn in your rental?
Hey, are you done with that test drive? Right?
It's like no, I signed a contract that makes it mine. It's like, oh no, you thought, please give me that car back.
I need you to give me that car back so I can ostensibly sell it to make a little extra scratch on the side. Yeah. This is the definition of don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining.
Yeah.
You know? Like, this is it. When we talk, when people say that, that's what we mean.
The fucking audacity.
The gall. I'm kind of impressed.
It's a bold move.
Yes.
For sure.
For sure. Like,
to be like, oh yeah, thanks for testing our open beta. It's like
that game that you put out that has like DLC that people have purchased.
Motherfucker, we spent money on that game.
What do you mean? Thanks, guys. No, it's stupid. Absolutely.
Fuck you. How dare you?
Don't lie to me like that, you son of a bitch.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.